Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the EPF YouTube channel. This is the 2025 European Sub-Junior and Junior Classic Powerlifting Championships, live from Dolskininkai, Lithuania, presented by Maniac Fitness. My name is Alexandre Renaudin, aka RDE Coach, and to my right is the one and only Erazem Ivan.
Hello Alex, it's going to be an exciting evening. We have the 93 and 105A groups ahead of us. Quite a battle promising in both of them.
Yeah, surely a flight that's gonna live up to the hype. Yesterday, the 63s and 83s were insane. It's gonna be a tough fast to try and top that, but judging by the caliber of athletes we have in this one, it is possible.
Oh, if anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be these two groups here.
We have 12 93s ready to battle it out. Openers ranging from 260 to 290. It's super close. Number one nominated athlete is Malik Bernoussi Triolet from France. Difficult prep, issues with his back, issues with his specs. Right behind him in the haunch, looking for revenge, Joey Owala from Great Britain and Emmanuel Olatunji also from GB. These three guys, man, they're gonna put on a show.
And considering that Malik had a difficult prep, don't count out any of the guys nominated down to 6th or 7th. They are all close enough to mount an attack on the podium.
Especially when Luca Umberto Angrisano, the Italian, has a big pull on him. First lifter out for the 93s is going to be Jose Perez Nova, Spain, 260. Pretty snappy opener. It's going to be 3 white lights between Spain.
Looking pretty comfortable. We've had an insane squat session yesterday in the 83s.
Oh yeah.
With only one miss in the entire round, in the entire 3 rounds.
Yeah, one miss out of 33 attempts. Super clean from these guys.
If the 93s come any close to that, it's going to be an insane session.
Now on the platform is the Czech Thomas Votava, 262.5. I feel like he drops down pretty hard into the hole. Do you think that's his usual technique or just his first squat nerves?
Let's take a look at the replay, see if there's loss of tension or anything that could hinder him in that top position. I think he maintains control pretty well. Looks like a normal squat technique, getting some momentum from the bounce.
Next up on the platform, Emmanuel Olutunji, Great Britain, 262.5. He needs a hot start if he wants to compete for the title.
And it's looking like a hot start. 3 white lights, good lift.
Yeah, I mean, you went third at Junior Worlds in Costa Rica. You don't want to be third at Euros right after that.
Now he's gonna have his eyes set higher up.
Next opener, Erik Nemec, Czechia, 262.5. Just what you would want out of an opener. Super smooth, 3 white lights. Next up, the man that was unbeatable as a sub-junior, now in the juniors, Jakub Belak, 265.
This is a pretty conservative opener for Jakub. He opened higher in Costa Rica.
Yeah, but he's had troubles in Costa Rica.
Yeah, he went for a pretty aggressive jump and missed twice there, so went out 1 out of 3 for squats. Looking to do better here. Looks smooth, but
Yeah, not convincing enough in terms of depth. That was high and clear to see from afar for Jakub Belak.
I was instantly worried there. Let's see how much he's missing.
I wouldn't say he's missing a lot, but it's clear to see from all 3 angles.
Yeah, from the replay angle, it looks better than watching it live, but he's gonna have to go a bit lower.
Isak Asperud, Norway, 265. Took a bit of time for him to receive the squat command. Couldn't quite figure out why though.
It's a 2-1 with a blue from the left side referee. Maybe soft knees at the start.
Let's have a close look at the lockout position too. Hips are extended. Knees are shaking, but they also seem to be extended.
Yeah, they looked okay to me.
Now on a path for revenge, Joey Owala from Great Britain, opening with 272.5. PB squat, 303.5. That's a lovely opener for Joey Owala. 3 white lights. At Junior Worlds, he fell short of the podium, but today he's shooting for gold and nothing less.
Oh, we have multiple athletes shooting for gold, but there's only 1 gold medal.
Absolutely. Next up, Jacob Nilsson, Sweden, 277.5. Lots of these guys are here for their last outing as a junior. Who's gonna have the best day? Very efficient walkout. 3 steps and he's into position. Yep, depth without a doubt. 3 white lights, some solid openers. Next up, Luca Umberto Angrisano, Italy, 277.5. Is nominated outside the podium. Still very much of a threat, especially with the deadlift he has.
And even squats, the 277.5, this is 15 kilos off his personal best, which at these weights can be a single jump.
Yeah, but he only has the 6th best nominated squat. Maybe he's improved though. We'll see.
Not the fastest, but looking pretty comfortable.
I'm repeating myself, but we've seen Italian open aggressively.
That is true. We'll see what sort of a jump they make to the second attempt, and that will tell us where they're feeling.
Now, the 280 opener from Malik Bernousset Triolet, the man nominated first. I mean, he needs a hot start too. He needs to establish dominance from the start.
17.5 off his personal best. Seemingly the trouble you mentioned in the prep, not holding him back in squats.
Oh, depth for days on Malik.
3 white lights, and I didn't think a man of his size and stature could go that deep.
Left no room for doubt. Same opener from Majon Dębski, Poland. Penultimate opener. Dębski nominated 5th, neck and neck with Jakub Belak. And in the hunt of Angrisano in maybe a podium if he improved a lot. I'd say that's on the slower hand for an opener, but still very convincing. 3 white lights, a good lift. I would have expected a tad bit more speed on that opener from Dębski.
Yeah, maybe opening a bit aggressive.
Final opener, Serrano Agustin, the Netherlands, 290 kilos.
Personal best of 320.5, current European junior record 331.
He was 1v1 in Greece before walking up to the platform. Why not if it gets you in the mood?
Let's wait for the lights here, and 3 reds unfortunately.
Yeah, I saw you pick that up live. So that's going to be no lift for Agustin, just like Jakub Belak, for lack of depth. The biggest squat is 295 in the B group for the Slovenian Kolmanko. I would have hoped for Agustin to be pushing that in the second round, but I think in that case you need to retake the weight.
It didn't look comfortable enough to go up, at least not significantly.
The bar is loaded for Slovakia.
So a retake from the first round for Jakub Belak, Slovakia, 265. We know he has a lot of strength. He just needs to adapt to the standards. He's still pretty new to the 93s. New leverages. Come on, Jakob, sink it. Make it count. Still super speedy. Tad bit more depth.
Looked better, and this time it's 2-1 good lift with a red only from one side referee. We're going to be looking at the replay from their perspective.
What do you think, Razem?
I think it looks better.
I would agree. And so will the jury. They've moved on. Jakub Belak is on the board. Next up, Erik Nemec, Czechia, 272.5, a jump of 10. That's 2.5 above his personal best. We do not see him yet, which is intriguing. Did we pick up anything wrong with his opener?
I don't think so, but with 30 seconds to go, he'll have to hurry to get that start command.
Great pickup from our technical controller, because Eric was walking up to the platform with his earphones in. Unfair competitive advantage. 10 seconds though to receive the squat command. He's going to have to be efficient with that walkout.
Gets the command with 3 seconds on the clock, 3 white lights, a good lift.
Okay, good lift, but too close for comfort.
His sleeves seem to be positioned really low on his legs. Do you think maybe he was changing them in the warm-up area? Mistimed it slightly?
But I think he should have went for some ASBD sleeves. What do you think?
Whatever the athlete prefers, but of course the SBD sleeves are of the highest quality on the market.
Jose Perez Novas, Spain, 275, 5 red plates on the bar, a 15 kg jump for that second attempt. Somewhat slower, but to be expected for a second. Still very reasonable and room for a third.
Yeah, 15 kilos will make a bit of a difference for most people.
Tomas Votava, Czechia, 277.5, jump of 15. I would say it's better than his opener. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Yeah, very comfortable second attempt. And
He's heating up.
yeah, I think he could add about 10 there for a fairly reasonable jump.
See, if you ask me, that was less speedy on the way down.
Maybe just a bit higher degree of control.
Emmanuel Olatunji, Great Britain, 277.5. Jump of 15 as expected. His opener was very comfortable and he's gonna need to push if he wants a shot at the title today.
This is on pace to reach or slightly surpass his PB from Costa Rica of 285.
Yeah, he needs to collect attempts until deadlift rolls around. He's the biggest puller of the bunch.
That looks very comfortable.
To the one, a good lift. 1 blue for soft knees from the front. I somewhat agree.
Let's take a look at the replay. At the start, they are a bit shaky.
See, that right knee is not fully extended.
Yeah, I can see where the blue light comes from. We'll see if the jury does anything about it.
It's not egregious, but
Yeah,
it's slightly soft. Isak Asperud, Norway, 280, a 15 kg jump. This one would match his personal best. The sticking point starts to appear, but I'll say that's a good second for him.
yeah. As we said, 15 kilos will make a difference, but he's still looking good for a solid third.
90 kilos here for his second squat. The bar is loaded.
Crazy to think that from now on, each and every squat is an attempt at a medal. Serrano Agostien, Netherlands, retaking 219. Weight did seem a bit challenging, and he lacked depth last time around.
Possibly, there's a correlation between the two. If he started standing up too soon, you just throw him off. Oh, he looks about the same depth, maybe a bit better.
Yep.
This time it's 2-1, good lift.
And usually post that ref agree that it's deep enough, he should be safe, but it didn't look easy. It didn't look opener worthy. Yep, that's good enough. So he saves himself, he's on the board. But I'm not expecting a big jump from maximum 7.5.
I agree that would be reasonable. We'll see how far Team Netherlands tries to push it.
What do we know, Razi? We saw the attempt that came in. AB tends to find another gear when it's the third squat. Luca Umberto Angrisano, Italy, 290, jump of 12.5. Solid second for Team Italy. 3 white lights, a good lift, provisional bronze.
Provisional bronze and 4 lifters remaining in round 2. In squat gold, still Kolmanko from the
Yeah, he holds
B
on.
group.
And he'll survive that round too. Myron Demski, Poland, jump of 10. That's 290 on the bar. Boy, that's one tough second. I think in hindsight he'll realize that that jump was slightly too ambitious.
Yeah, the first wasn't particularly fast.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's take a look at the replay. No obvious technique breakdown.
Yeah, it does look like a strength issue.
Yeah.
Next up, Joey Owala, Great Britain, jump of 20, Erasm.
Jump of 20. It's still 11 kilos below his personal best. But a pretty aggressive jump for Owala.
He's had an up and down career since 2023 when he won Euros Junior. Went second at the Euromuscle show, fourth at Worlds. Didn't seem to be completely happy with his performances. So maybe today's day, he aligns all 9 attempts. Yeah, that is super smooth. A 20 kg jump is not supposed to move like that. 3 white lights.
We said it, 15 kilos tend to make a difference for most people. 20 not making much of a difference from Joey.
The bar is loaded.
Jacob Nilsson, Sweden, 292.5 to go into provisional squat bronze. Slightly heavier than Owala, who would stay in squat silver. depth, that's for sure. Pushes his knees forward under the bar, and 3 white lights, a good lift.
Great second attempt.
Look at those knees. They kick back under the bar and he stands up with it. That makes for a difficult sticking point though if he has too much weight.
Yeah, we'll see what sort of jump Team Sweden goes for a third attempt.
We're not expecting Team Sweden to skip a beat though. Now Malik Bernoussi Triolet 295, jump of 15.
Looks like a very reasonable second attempt. 3 white lights for Malik.
And nowhere else to go than the 300s.
Well, a 2.5 kilo jump from this would be ridiculous, so
Yeah,
I agree. Nowhere to go but the 300 and further.
So as it stands, provisional squat podium. In third with 292.5, Joey Awala. Second, Malik Bernoussi Triolet with 295. And with the same best attempt, but lighter on body weight, from the B group, Timotej Komanko from Slovenia holds on.
Holds on. We'll see if he can hold on through round 3. There'll be a couple of people trying to overtake him.
Yeah. And I would not bet against these guys. Now Jakub Belak, Slovakia, 280, jump of 15. Do not go back to your old ways. Sink that squat.
It's gonna be on the limit.
Yeah, no lift for lack of depth.
2 reds, unfortunately, this time. We're gonna take a look at that replay.
The coach tries to argue for it, but is sent away immediately. That's lack of depth for Jakub Belak.
And this is the side he gets the white from.
And even that side is not that convincing.
Yeah.
Now to Eric Nemec, Czechia, 280, jump of 7.5. Can he be the first one to hit a personal best? Turns out he can. 3 white lights, a good lift. 3 for 3 in the squat, 7.5 kg PB. Next up, Jose Perez Nova, España, 282.5, PB attempt of 7.5. His previous squat slightly asymmetrical on the way up.
Was just the slightest hint of effort, but 7.5 seems like a reasonable jump from there. If he can really leave it all on the platform. Looks like the absolutely right call.
Yeah, 3 white lights, even though he's had struggle with that crooked bar positioning. It worked, 3 for 3, new personal best for the Spanish lifter.
Doesn't need to be pretty, just needs to be done.
Now Tomas Votava, Czechia, 285. His personal best is 282.5, he's looking to chip it.
And second looked almost better than first.
Yep. His walkout seems comfortable. He looks poised under the bar. Focused on the task at hand. Oh, and even though the hips get backed and he had to work for it, he manages the attempt. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Another really close call for a third attempt, getting the absolute max he could.
Next up, jump of 10, Emmanuel Olatunji, Great Britain. Squat not really a strong suit compared to the other lifters, but still to make some improvements. Personal best attempt of 2.5. Nice and controlled. Drops down into the hole and works for it.
Great third attempt, 3 white lights. Good lift, new personal best, 3 for 3 in the squats, in a great position.
Apparently he has that dog in him because the crowd was barking on the way up for him. That's how they're moving. Next up, Isak Asperud, Norway, 287.5, jump of 7.5 for that same amount of a personal best for the Norwegian.
It's a fight. Quite a fight to get past that sticking point. That's 3 white lights, another very marginal selection on a third attempt,
Yeah,
perfectly gauged.
Once again, Team Norway finds the exact number. Now the only retake from the second round, Myron Demski from Poland, 290. He squatted 303 in the past. 290 should be within his wheelhouse, but he couldn't manage it in the second round.
We'll see, maybe a bit more determination, a bit more strength, a bit more belief.
If you put that in the correct order, that works. I see belief, I see determination. How about strength from Myron?
Unfortunately, just get stuck at the bottom. Something not going quite right for the Polish athletes today in the squats.
Maybe he's at back-to-back prep, carrying too much fatigue. Maybe he wanted to prove himself something in the squat a week before the competition, and it's costing him his squat peak. Who knows?
Speaking like an oracle here, do you know something?
Luca Umberto Angrisano, Italy, 297.5, jump of 7.5 for 5 kg personal best. Provisional gold medal in the squat event of the 93s.
It's an absolute grinder, but he sticks with it.
Wow. Gotta be impressed with that squat. 3 white lights, a good lift, new personal best, provisional gold, but not even guaranteed on the squat podium because these next 4 attempts are 305 and up.
305, 305, 305, 307.5.
Yep, Joe Yowala will get the final say regardless. First one out for the 305 is Malik Bernoussi Triolet, jump of 10. 7.5 kg PB.
10 kilo jump from that second seems very reasonable.
Wow, he really battles for this one. 3 white lights, a good lift for Malik. New personal best in the squat, provisional squat gold.
Not a single easy attempt here in round 3.
Just like we want to see them.
I don't think the last few attempts altogether had 2.5 kilos to spare.
Maybe a few grams here and there. Next up, Jacob Nilsson, slightly heavier than Malik, so provisional squat silver on the line. of support for Jacob. Team Sweden has brought a stacked team for this championship. They placed third in the sub-juniors.
See what they can do in juniors.
And once again, the exact number. How about the lights for Jacob? It's a good lift. 3 white lights. New personal best. Provisional squat silver.
It's like they all made a deal amongst themselves. No one's gonna miss a third attempt.
The one who has more room on his third gets disqualified. Next up, one more at 305, Serrano Agustin from the Netherlands. This one, I must say we were not expecting it. He's looking to add 15 on the retake from the first round.
And a pretty hard retake.
But he squatted 320.5 in the past. He must be an amazing grinder. How about depth? That's the only question we have. Lack of depth for Serrano. No lift.
No lift, unfortunately. We're gonna take a look at the replay.
Can his coach try and make a case for that squat?
It was marginal, but I think it was on the wrong side of the fence there. The coach is making a case, but the jury says no, unfortunately.
So 1 for 3 dropbacks in the ranking from that 320 to only ended up with 290. And for the final say in the squat event of the 93s, the one and only Joey Owala, 307.5. That would be her personal best and guaranteed squat gold. He needs that in the fight with Malik and Emmanuel. Let's see it, Joey. And he's the one to have more room on his squat. 3 white lights, squat goal for Joey Owala.
What a show they have given us. But yeah, quite possibly the easiest third attempt of the round is the one that takes the gold medal.
That's insane. A quick recap of the squat podium for the 93s. In bronze medal position from Sweden, Jakob Nilsson with 305. Same best attempt but lighter on body weight. Squat silver goes to France and Malik Bernoussi Triolet. And with that 307.5, it's Joey Owala from GB that takes squat gold for the 93s.
Quite a show, and we'll be moving straight on into the 105's A group.
10 of them.
10 of them, openers ranging from 265 to 310 for Nico Lapi. Which 310, European junior record at 336. Do you think we'll get there?
Probably. I mean, we have 5 squats nominated above 320. And the biggest squat of the B group is 322.5.
265 for the first attempt of 105 for Brian Macbetha of Belgium. Perhaps not the fastest opener. Unfortunately, 2 red lights from the left and center referees.
He gets so wide from the replay angle. Could this save him? I think it's reasonable on that side, but keep in mind it is very possible for a lifter to be asymmetrical at the bottom.
From that side it looked quite okay, but hard to see with the all-black singlet, so 267.5 for Brecht Leenders of Belgium. Opening 2.5 below his personal best of 270. Seems like someone's been making progress. And a super easy first attempt. 3 white lights.
Yeah, that was super fast.
$280 on the bar for Peter Mandy of Great Britain. placed third in Costa Rica. Wants to take the title today, but he's gonna have to fight for it.
Left no room for doubt at the bottom.
Yeah, that is a very deep squat. 3 white lights.
Yeah, if Peter is gonna go down, he's gonna make it count.
Comfortable opener with a personal best of 307.5. Do we see him surpassing that?
I'll have to see the second because he has a long range of motion and 2.5 can already make a lot of difference on that kind of squat. But I'll be comfortable loading 20 more on the second and then see what happens.
285 for Yannick Kerain of Germany.
Second internationals, he was in Costa Rica for Junior Worlds.
Placed 7th there, nominated 8th today. And that is 3 white lights, comfortable first attempt.
Now we have Andres Castellón from Spain. Bar is loaded.
$290 on the bar for Andres Castellón del Campo of Spain.
Arguably the biggest contender for third overall.
Quite possibly Lapi and Mandy are nominated quite a way up ahead.
Yeah, these two are in a league of their own in this class.
Looking comfortable, but how about the depth? Unfortunately, there's 3 reds. 3 red lights.
And we've had Diego, the head coach of Team Spain, at the commentary booth for the previous flight. He told us, when my lifter feels confident and he's in a position to play for a podium, I might bump up the attempt. I think in that case, he's not going to go for the planned second, but still maybe add another 7.5.
I think that would make sense, also considering it was not that far away from depth and it was a pretty easy first attempt. 295 on the bar for Tommaso Buscaroli of Italy.
New face to the scene, only 21 years young, 1 year of competitive experience.
But very much in the game for the podium. Hit the pole pretty hard there, and even with that, a red light from the left side referee. 2-1 good lift though. And the replay is from the good side.
I mean, if Tommaso is looking like that and Andres starts missing, the door is wide open for the podium.
$295 for Martin Brester of Germany. Placed just ahead of his teammate in Costa Rica. Nominated 6th, also with a shot at the podium. And the first attempt is looking fairly comfortable, but a red light from the left side referee. 2-1 good lift, and we're gonna check the depth on the replay. This is the side where he gets the good lift from, and I think he should be just about there. 302.5 on the bar for Jaden Osenweji of Great Britain.
I want to see how he's looking today, because if he's made progress from his nominations, he could beat the odds today. I mean, the roster of juniors from Team GB is so deep and insane. Lots of talent coming from GB.
And unfortunately, there's 3 red lights for depth. Not the easiest on the way up.
I think there's 1 blue for soft too, so lack of depth from the front and from the left. Soft lockout from the right hand side.
Depth was marginal.
Yeah,
It's a 3 red lights call, so the jury can't do anything about it. He's just gonna have to go a bit lower and keep those knees locked.
I think in that case, especially judging by the fact that this is his first international, it's an automatic retake.
Absolutely, I would not bump that attempt up. Pedro Joel Aragoneses Guerrero. 305 for the Spaniard.
Seemingly better in the squat event than his compatriot, but nominated 20 kilos behind him. And that's a pronounced low bar if I've ever seen one.
Oh, very much so. Seems to be working very well. But again, depth trouble. 2 red lights from both side referees. I want to see the replay here, because from my perspective, it didn't look that bad. But of course, the referees have the better position.
It does look a bit poor from the sides.
Yeah, I think the perspective that we have, his elbows kind of covered the hip crease. And 1 final opening attempt. Our favorite for the title today, Nico Lapi of Finland, opening at 310.
Yeah, unless a big surprise arises, it's either him or Peter Mendy from GB.
That is a comfortable 310. What about the lights? 3 white lights. He's on the board. And into provisional bronze medal. In the squat gold, still in the lead, Bartolomej Bogdanovic from B group.
We have 4 athletes yet to be on the board in the 105s.
We'll see if that's a reason for concern in the second round. Some are reattempting, some are jumping up. Oh, both the Spanish are jumping up, as you correctly predicted. But as
Belgium retaking, GB retaking, Spain, we're moving up.
and moving up by quite a bunch.
Yeah, 10 and
15
15.
for Aragoneses and 10 for Del Campo. And the first athlete without a spot on the board, reattempting 265 for Brian Macbetha of Belgium.
And you know what? Since he had 3 internationals under his belt, I would have hoped for maybe a slight bump up of the attempt.
We'll see how confident they are reaching depth.
Slightly better, I must say.
Looks better. It's 3 white lights, but I think it's good they didn't bump up that attempt, because it didn't look particularly easy. Now they can make a reasonable jump to a third.
Yeah, but that was super deep. Maybe he overdid it.
Really smashed himself into the hole. $285 for Brecht Leenders. Belgium, 15 kilo personal best, but the 267.5 was very comfortable.
That explains the sizable jump too.
Second attempt is 3 white lights and still looking good for more.
Imagine improving your PB by 15 and still having room.
Yeah, he was nominated 10th at the bottom of the A group, but with this sort of performance, he can cover ground, jump up, bringing home some team points for Belgium.
And talking about covering ground,
10-kilo jump from a missed first attempt for Andrés Castellón del Campo of Spain. Diego told you they are in the podium fight and they need to risk the extra kilos even though they missed their first attempt.
yep, they've worked hard, they are playing hard. That's better, but trouble's on the way up.
Was there downward motion? A single blue from the center referee. It's a good lift, but the jury will review it. It was
What
a
do you
scrappy
think?
one. I can't really say from that angle. It could have been back and forth, could have been slightly down.
Jury, do not press the remote. Whew, one of the Spanish lifters is on the board.
300 on the bar for Yannick Kerain of Germany. The white lights, a good looking second attempt. Two athletes who were not on the board at the end of round one are now on the board. Can Jaden Osamweji of Great Britain repeating 302.5.
He might be the one that has me worried the most because he had two things to correct: soft knees and depth.
And the first lift was not particularly easy.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if that was maybe just nerves. First international.
Depth for sure. Extend the knees. That's much better.
And it's three white lights this time. He is on the board. He's going to be breathing a sigh of relief with the shaking throughout the entire attempt there.
But it's gonna be a big ask to try and cover ground time and match his nominated squat of 320.5. I would not be comfortable loading more than 10.
Yeah, I think 10 is the way to go here. Even 10 not guaranteed by any means. 302.5 for Peter Mandy of Great Britain. 22.5 kilo jump here, trying to cover ground to catch up to Lapi.
Super snappy second.
Very comfortable looking. Three white lights and he will be covering ground.
I think he's good for more than his personal best.
Oh, absolutely. Personal best 307.5. I think that this is at least a 10 kilo jump.
Yeah.
Possibly more. We are already in the fight for squat medals. Martin Brester of Germany, 312.5 on the bar.
Three white lights, a good lift from Martin.
Very reasonable second.
Italy's Tommaso Buscaroli attempting 350 kilos for his second spot.
Load up Another 5, maybe 7.5.
I think 7.5 would be a appropriate choice. 315 on the bar for Tommaso Buscaroli of Italy. 8 kilos off his personal best. 295 was looking exceptional.
Exceptional is the word. How do you even make 315 look light? Three white lights, a good lift, but it didn't look exactly the same as his opener.
It also seemed to me like he narrowed his stance slightly.
Get different hip placement too. It's not the exact same squat.
Maybe he's just flexing that he's strong in all the different techniques. Now for the final athlete off the board, Pedro Joel Aragoneses Guerrero. 320, 15 kilo jump from a missed 305, straight to his personal best.
And 320 does not even guarantee you a podium in the 105 juniors.
So glad I'm not a junior anymore. Still looking super strong, but was it better? It's a 2-1 this time. A step pull from the right side. Where are we going to see the replay from?
Yep. So still a bit worried for him. I think the jury agrees with the whites here.
Yeah, I think the difference between this attempt and the previous one was the hips just dipped ever so slightly in the bottom position just to reach that depth very momentarily. And we have the final attempt of round 2 going on for 325, Nico Lapi of Finland. 5 kilos off his personal best, so looking to break it if this goes well. And trying to build up as much of a gap to Mandy as possible.
I think he lost his hip positioning at the bottom. You can see him slightly shift. That right hip just goes inward, which is super weird from him.
Yeah, the 310 definitely looked comfortable, and 325 should not have been that much of a problem, so this was certainly a technical error there.
I would say so.
And after round 2, we still have Bogdavic from B group in first place.
And Avid Nico out of the podium.
Not what we were expecting, but we have Guerrero in second from the A group, and they're going to be pushing another round of attempts incoming. 277.5 on the bar for Brian Macbetha of Belgium.
And you did say that his 265 did not look that easy. I was more on the side that he overdid it in terms of depth. How is that 277.5 going to move?
It's very slow. Let's wait for the lights, and it's a 2-1 with a depth pull from the center referee.
I mean, these B-boys are difficult to judge from the front. From the side, it does look very convincing.
Yeah, from the side, I think he's absolutely okay.
Back-to-back Belgians on the platform.
295 for Brecht Lenders of Belgium. Came in with a personal best of 270. This will be a 25 kilo improvement.
That's already huge on a total, let alone on a squat.
Oh, what a fight!
Ah, that was so close.
That was so painfully close. A 7.5 would have gone up 100%
Yeah.
here.
100%.
10 was just the slightest bit too much. Still a 15 kilo improvement on his personal best. Definitely something to write home about. 305 for Andres Castellón del Campo. 5 kilo jump. Very safe attempt selection from Team Spain.
I mean, remember the second, it did look sticky.
Definitely looks sticky. And the third looks better than the second, but what about the lights? It's 3 white lights, a good lift.
And the jury's in disbelief. Two members of the jury are shaking their head. When they watched it live, they didn't seem to think that that was deep enough. But on the replay, I must admit, it looks convincing.
Yeah, it's the stance that makes you think it's not deep enough just because of the angles and how the body is positioned in the bottom position. But the expertly set up camera for the side replays shows the truth.
The experienced EPF media team.
310 kilos on the bar for Jaden Osanwenji of Great Britain. 10.5 kilos off his personal best, but I have to say an appropriate jump looking at his first and second.
Yeah, you adapt on the day. So you have to do. Depth. Now extend the knees.
Again, wait for the lights. It's a depth pull from the center, but it's a 2-to-1 good lift. Let's take a look at the side replay.
6 meters left. Now the bar is loaded.
Now that's deep enough for sure.
He looks well on the right side of the fence. 310 on the bar for a 5 kilo personal best for Yannick Herain of Germany.
Wow, lovely third from Yannick.
3 white lights. That is building.
5 lifts left zone. Peter Henley from Great Britain is next. 350 kilos for his third squat of the day. Bar is loaded.
Now, one of our top 2 contenders, Peter Mandy of Great Britain, 315 kilos.
Hey, you know what? This one is pivotal because if he collects this one, he extends his personal best and nominated squat, while Nico Lappi is missing his squat. Can squats be the deciding factor in the quest for the title in the 105s?
We'll have to see. This will be a big personal best. And it's a huge fight. He stands up. 3 white lights, no doubts there. 315.
And a bit of a nosebleed too, you had to work for that one.
As you know, it was an absolute maximum effort. And now Nico Lappi really needs this squat. Really, really needs it.
He needs to answer back because he's put under pressure. We thought it was a technical issue last time around. Easier to correct than a strength issue.
Let's hope he can correct it. 325 on the bar for the Finn. Should be within his reach. Just needs perfect execution. And it does not go up. It does not go up. And one of our podium favorites.
Yeah, Nico Lappi struggling to put his best foot forward in the squat event. So is that just a squat issue? or like a fitness issue on the day?
Let's hope it's not a fitness issue, because I still want to see a battle for the win. Whoever comes out on top. We want it to come to that last pull. 3:25 for Tommaso Buscaroli of Italy.
PB attempt of 2.
2:95 looking easy. 3:15 not changing much. Another 10 kilos. Can he do it? This is for provisional squat gold. This time it slows him down. It's just a bit too much for the Italian. No podium for him. And for the time being, with just 2 squats remaining, still Bogdanovic from the B group in squat gold.
He's holding on. But, I mean, he was knocking on the door of that A group. It was the first nominated in the B group.
He was nominated 11th, but still.
We'd love to see it.
He has the podium guaranteed, but how far up the podium he can finish is going to be the question now. And it's going to be a question of 2 lifts, 2 attempts. 3:25 for Martin Brester of Germany. Provisional squat gold, guaranteed squat silver. And there you go. It's a 2-to-1 good lift. Depth call from the left side referee. I think this is a repeat depth call from the previous round. He looked okay. Let's take a look again.
Yeah, that side deserved the white light, I would agree.
Moves into squat gold. Can he keep it? Or can Pedro Joel Aragoneses Guerrero of Spain take it away? 3:30 on the bar to move from squat bronze to squat gold. Secure 10 more kilos on the total in the fight for the podium.
I wouldn't expect 330 to be any trouble in terms of strength, but it begs the question, is he going to sink that squat enough to be convincing?
That is the question here. It's going to be a 10 kilo personal best, and with some trouble from the other contenders, it's going to bring him right into the fight.
I don't know,
Walks it
Razi.
up. It's a 2-to-1 no lift. It's a 2-to-1, so the jury will review it. And the coach is immediately sent away.
Yeah, I mean, from that angle, it did seem pretty clear. So only 1 for 3 for the Spanish lifter.
1 for 3, and Martin Brester of Germany takes the squat gold by 2.5 kilos from Bartłomiej Bogdanovic for Poland from the B group in silver with 322.5, and Aragoneses Guerrero in bronze with 320. Things are shaking up. We'll be back in about 9 minutes time for bench press. We'll see you then.
We are back in action live from Druskininkai, Lithuania for the 2025 European Sub-Junior and Junior Classic Powerlifting Championships presented by Maniac Fitness. Back for the 93s first before we move into the 105s. Quick recap of the squat podium. Third, Jacob Nilsson from Sweden with 305. Same best attempt but light on body weight, Malik Bernoussi Triolet from France. And with a new personal best of 307.5, Joey Owala from GB took away squat gold.
Stark contrast in between the 93s and the 105s. The 93s a super clean squat session, especially the third round. The 105s, not so much. Some shakeups there.
Now bench openers ranging from 147.5 for Eric Nemec from Czechia to 195 for Malik Bernoussi Triolet from France. Not the smoothest of openers for Eric.
Yeah, there's a bit of a sticking point there, about 2/3 of the way up.
Next up, someone who's had a difficult squat event in the 93, Serrano Agostien from the Netherlands. He has a PB squat of 320. You would imagine he'd be walking away with something along those lines. No, only 290.
Yeah, trouble in squats. We're gonna see if he's feeling better for bench press. Oh, doesn't look a lot better than the squat opener.
Yeah, it
It is three white lights, but it's very heavy.
He weighing in at 91.75. Is he maybe a bit too light to have the best fitness possible?
Possibly. You wouldn't expect him to have trouble with the cut, weighing in at 91.75.
Maybe he just got too much.
Either cut too much or maybe is an illness or something like that before the comp, losing some weight.
I think in that case, we would love to give you information, but going up to the lifter in between warm-ups would be kind of rude, so it'll stay a mystery, at least for now. Myron Damski, Poland, 160. Could only manage 280 in the squat. He missed 290 twice. Yep, he missed twice. And another difficult opener. Did the bar dip? Yes, it did, according to the right side ref, but not according to the two other refs on the platform. So it's a good lift for now.
I'm also a bit worried about that left elbow. Seemed unlocked at the start.
I think I can only agree with you.
And we'll see if the jury picks up on that, overturns it. But I have to tell you, the right side referee, a keen eye for blue lights, has given plenty of them to me in the past.
Luca Umberto Angrisano, Italy, 162.5, squatted 297.5. New personal best of 5 after a nice grind on the third. Three white lights, a good lift, he's on the board. I mean, with these openers, this is really what we're looking for. Something nice, solid, easy, some confidence, just try and secure an attempt.
Yeah, possibly the easiest opener we've seen.
And Jacob Nilsson would have a say at that. The Swedish opening with 165. Hopefully this one's not going to be easy, but a solid opener. Because we've seen now lifters have taken the lesson. Sub-juniors, multiple lifters bowing out. Troubles with the openers. You know, it's a difficult transition from the warm-up room to the platform, but don't drop your opener like too light.
That is true.
Optimized technique for Jacob. 3 white lights, a good lift. But if he arcs one centimeter more, he'll be a bit above depth, I think.
I think that's why he sinks. He uses that sort of a.
Oh yeah, that's on the fence on that left side. Now Emmanuel Olutunji, Great Britain, 172.5.
Three white lights, a good lift.
Next lifter, Jakub Belak, Slovakia. He lost out on a lot of kilos in the squat. Only managed 265, a retake from the first round that he scored on the second, and then missed depth at 280 when he squatted 290 in the past. His debut year as a 93 is not going the best. Let's see what he can do in the bench press with 172. Much smoother than the first squat. 3 white lights, a good lifts. Next up, Joey Owala. Fresh off squat gold, is opening with 177.5.
Pretty smooth. 3 white lights, but I want to take a look at those elbows.
They seem extended, and they seem deep enough. What are you worried about, Razboy?
Well, that was definitely there. No, the top position of the elbows looked a bit sketchy from my perspective, but I'm sitting pretty far away. The replay looks good.
Thomas Votava, Czechia, 177.5.
And another pretty comfortable opener. 3 white lights. Good to see the tide sort of turning towards the lighter opening attempts.
Down to Jose Perez Nova, 177.5. Very close to his personal best of 180. After a PB squat of 10 kg, surely you must feel confident attacking bench press.
Definitely confident.
Yep.
3 white lights, no issues whatsoever. 2.5 kilos off his PB, so plenty of room there to improve, climb up the rankings.
Final 2 openers, Isaac Asperud 190 and Malik Bernoussi Triolé 195. I saw some movement in the glute area, double yellows.
Let's see the side replay. It's a 2-to-1, so the jury will take a look at it. Whether the glutes really left the bench. I don't
Not
think
sure
they
they
did.
did. I think it's worth a try going up to the jury to try and argue for it. They're gonna ask the chief ref whether or not they think he missed the command, but chief ref put in a white, so still discussions happening at the jury table regarding the previous lift as Malik unracks 195. And yeah, that's easy work for Malik. 3 white lights, a good lift. And jury has overruled the previous lift to a good lift. So good lift for Asperot. Glutes were on the bench.
Pretty clearly from that replay.
Well, I can involve jury in both ways. Doesn't usually happen
That's absolutely what you want from the jury. They're to repeat, they're to
they're the
fix the
equalizers.
human errors.
So the second round starts with Erik Nemec from Czechia, 152.5. And 2 members of the B group from the 93s are holding on to a bench podium so far. In the lead still Thomas Fugis from Switzerland with 195. But he is to be overtook in that round.
Looks about the same as his first.
Yep, 3 white lights, 3 good lifts. Next up, a man who's having troubles with his day, Serrano Agostin from the Netherlands, 155. 2.5 is the right jump. It's the only way to go.
Yeah, the 152.5 was really heavy. He's had trouble with depth in squats, even in training. Bench, not moving particularly well either.
I'd say that moved just like his opener. But 1 yellow, could that be for anticipating the command? Maybe soft elbow on the right.
Yeah, I think that might be the right elbow.
Yep, I would go for the elbows. I mean, our chief referee is one of the most experienced referees we have, Tatiana Melnik from Ukraine. Now on to Myron Dembski, Poland, 165, jump of 5 to match his personal best.
And again, hard opener and second missed from what looks like on strength.
Luca Umberto Agrisano from Italy, 165, jump of 5. More of a grind already. And 3 white lights, a good lift. Let's add another 2.5 and try and make some magic happen for Team Italy. Next up, the Swedish Jacob Nilsson, 172.5. It's a 7.5 kg jump. He's having a strong outing so far.
Still looking strong.
Yep. How about his elbows? First red coming in, lack of elbow depth. I think with that left elbow, he could be in trouble.
That is from the center referee, who has the best view of those elbows. And that elbow did look a bit concerning, but the jury will not overrule.
It's borderline, but it passes. Now Jakub Belak trying to regain some momentum. He opened on a very easy 172.5. He's jumping 7.5.
Still very reasonable second at 180. He's going to be looking to improve upon his bench personal best after not the best round of squats.
Yeah, what would you go for? 185, 187.5?
185 if he wants to be safe, but I think 187.5 would be there today.
I would be safe in this case. I need a solid 3 for 3 to try and gain some confidence before deadlifts. Thomas Votava, Czechia, 182.5, jump of 5. That's a big arch if I've ever seen one.
It's 3 white lights, and even with that big arch, depth right on point.
Apparently so. Does look right. Now for a bigger jump, Emmanuel Olatunji, Great Britain, 182.5. This wants to match his personal best. As it stands, he's already forecasted second in the class. Forecasted first is Bernoussi Triolet from France. Oh, that's one sticky lockout. Come on!
And he cannot lock it out. That is trouble for Olatunji here.
You know what? I think it's just a technical issue. It didn't look like strength to me. It looked like he did push too vertically off the chest. He was not in the correct bar path and could not extend the elbows using his pecs.
Yeah, he had a great drive from the chest, just didn't keep enough momentum and a proper position to lock that out.
Yeah, I think he has a good chance at succeeding in the third round of bench press. 182.5 for Jose Perez Noas, Spain. Jump of 5, personal best of 2. And in that case, it didn't look the same as Emmanuel's. I would say this one is a strength issue.
You take a look at the replay, but I would tend to agree with you here.
See, he's reopened, he's above his shoulders, he's able to push, just no strength.
Shoulders didn't seem to be quite tucked in properly at the setup.
So maybe a chance in the third round. Now, Joey Awala, forecasted third at the moment, but as his eyes on the prize, looking at the first position overall here in the class, he needs 185 now. Great control, solid second from Joey Awala. 5 for 5 so far.
That is 3 white lights, and he'll be able to gain ground on Olatunji in round 3.
I don't think he's good to match his personal best of 192.5, but I think that's going to be the case for most of these lifters here today. So just try and collect some more kilos, maybe add another 5.
Yeah, I
and
think
move to deadlifts.
I think a 5 would be reasonable here. Matches Olatunji on prognosis.
Already setting up on the bench is Isaac Asperud, Norway, jumping 10. In the 200s we go. This one's the first bench to try and surpass Thomas Fugis from Switzerland out of the B group.
That is a pretty grindy 200, but it is up. And looking at the third round attempts, it is with great joy in my heart that I can announce that we're going to have a B group podium.
Yes, sir.
210 kilos.
Remains to be seen which position in the podium it's going to be.
Yep, next up, Malik Bernoussi Triolet from France, jumping 15. Personal best bench press in competition, 228.
European junior and world junior record, standing at 225.5, I believe belongs to him. Did 225.5 at the Euro Muscle Show in 2024. And the 210 looks pretty smooth. I don't know if he looks good for another 16 kilos, but 5 to 10.
In the battle for the title, it wouldn't make sense to risk it anyways. I think add another 5, maybe 7.5 and move on with your day.
I would agree.
The standings in the bench press, holding on from the B group, Mr. Thomas Fugis from Switzerland in provisional bronze. Isaac Asperud from Norway, 200 in silver, and gold Malik Bernoussi Triolet with 210. 155 for Eric Nemec. That's the beginning of the third round for the representative of Czechia.
Great work to get the third attempt up, and it's 3 white lights, a good lift.
Next up, going back to back with 2.5 is Serrano Agustin from the Netherlands. Matching his personal best on a bad day would not be a bad thing.
Absolutely, and the 155 seemed to be pretty consistent with the 152.5. Heavy, but he did it. Let's see if he can do the 157.
I think he tried to utilize more leg drive than he's used to.
No lift, unfortunately.
Trying to compensate for his lack of back strength on the day. Look at him pushing with his quads way more than he's used to pushing.
And you can also see the glutes almost leave the bench there. I think if it was a grinder.
Myron Damski, Poland. I mean, just like in the squat, he missed his second attempt. He's retaking it in the third round.
See if he can manage the 165 on his third try. The second did look purely a strength issue, to be honest.
Yep.
Just very heavy.
Hoping for the best. 165 for Myron. So that's gonna be 2 for 6 so far. Not the best of days.
Not the best of days indeed. Let's hope for a better outcome in deadlifts.
However, someone that's having a lovely day, Luca Umberto Angrisano, Italy, 172.5 for a 2.5 kg personal best. Scored a fabulous personal best in the squat. Can he go 6 for 6? Position himself in a nice and solid 4th position before deadlifts.
Nice and solid fourth before deadlifts. And with Olatunji having trouble with the benches, there might be a door.
No third attempt this time, no personal best. 5 for 6. bit of a wrist rolling. Some motorbike bench action. Jacob Nilsson, Sweden, 177.5. Jump of 5 to match his personal best. He did receive a red from our chief referee last time around. You do not want to arch any higher up.
If he does it exactly like he did on his second, should be okay.
Yeah,
Any
what passes
higher-
once should pass twice.
Any higher, he's in trouble. It's a heavy one. Gets it up. 3 white lights this time.
Perfect attempt. Left no room in terms of strength and no room for doubts. Yeah, that left elbow was more convincing than his second attempt.
Absolutely.
Now a retake from the second round for Emmanuel Olotunji, Great Britain. This one could already be very important towards either a podium finish and even maybe the title because he has a gigantic pull on him.
Looks way better this time. Can he lock it out?
Did he receive the command to try and re-rack or no?
Don't think he did. Just unable to extend the elbows completely, and I mean, in this case, even if he was perhaps granted a reattempt because the spotter grabbed the bar,
Yeah,
a stretch.
I think the chief ref is signaling that the spotters might have touched the bar before someone giving the command. They're gonna give him another attempt at the end of the round. Wow, that is so difficult because he has a long range of motion. He had to battle hard for this one. It was as shaky as it gets at the top. Didn't get it. He's gonna have to reattempt it. A fourth attempt at the end of the round for Emmanuel Olotunji.
I mean,
That'd be a great story if in the end he pulls himself onto the podium or maybe the win though.
absolutely, these 10 kilos are crucial for him, but it's gonna be a tough job.
Jose Perez Nova, another reattempt of the second round, 182.5. Looks slightly different though. It did look like strength, but you were mentioning his shoulder positioning on the pad. It didn't look right to you.
The shoulder positioning looked a bit off. And this time it's looking better. Can he grind out? I think he can.
I think it's right.
Can
3 white lights. You were right, Razen. 3 white lights. A good lift. Great recovery for Team Spain.
This was a big one. The fight for every single placing here will
Wow.
be hot and heavy, and team points are gonna play a big role.
Tomas Votava, Czechia, 185, jump of 2.5. Adapting on the day, his personal best is 190. If you're not good for it, don't load it. Just what he needed for his third. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Got what he could on the day.
Deadlift from Slovakia. And we have 185 kilos, so the bar is loaded.
Now a personal best attempt for Jakub Belak, Slovakia, 185. Just what he needs to regain some momentum. A quick confidence boost before deadlifts. Because the squat event was difficult. No lift, surprisingly, for Jakob.
Yeah, the 180 looked pretty comfortable.
So that's 3 for 6 so far for Jakob.
Not the best start to his junior career.
Yeah, subtotal 445, forecasted 14th.
Yeah, he has a big deadlift on him.
Yeah, he's gonna climb a few places, maybe top 10. Now to Joey Owala's final bench, 190. To try and cover the gap to Malik Bernoussi-Triolet. Great control on the way down. Push it up.
Another struggling lockout. Too much for Owala. No lift. And both of the Brits here have a pretty interesting bench technique. Great power off the chest, but
Yeah.
both somewhat struggling with the lockout.
Next up, Isak Asperud, Norway, 202.5 to try and extend the bench press silver. This one would be a personal best of 2.5, but repeating benches in the 200s are difficult. And just like we said, repeating bench press attempts along those lines, those 200s is difficult. No lift.
Still has the guaranteed bench press silver.
2 more attempts, 1 real final attempt, and a 4th for Emmanuel Olatunji. 215 for Malik Bernoussi-Triolet. Like we said, his personal best bench press is 228. He's had pec issues during his prep. He still managed to walk away with bench press gold. He's looking to extend that by 5 to create a chunky subtotal of 515. Yeah, that's not gonna go up. So 510 it is.
I think he lost positioning. The left elbow shifted there, and unfortunately, no lift. He'll still be ahead of Owala on prognosis, and possibly Olatunji, depending on how his 4th attempt goes.
Yep. I mean, he's gonna have to find something. He needs the support of the crowd for that one, because his 3rd attempt looked like an absolute grinder, absolute top end. But Emmanuel Olatunji re-attempting 182.5. He could lose out on 10 kilos. That's a lot. Make some magic happen. What in the world?
Just needed a 4th attempt. It's 3 white lights. And he woke up that dog.
Yep, he still has that dog in him. What in the world was that? So, looks like we're gonna have an intense battle on our hands, because Malik, Owala, and Olatunji are neck and neck. Quick look at the bench podium. Holding on from the B group, Thomas Fugis from Switzerland with 195 bench bronze. Bench silver goes to Norway and Isaac Asperud with 200. And with 210, the French Malik Bernoussi-Triolet takes bench gold.
And we are straight into the 105s, where we've had another surprise. We are down a lifter in the 105s. Lapi
No
has scratched the bench
way.
attempts. Seems
The favorite is dropping out the competition.
perhaps an injury on the squats. That's the only reason I could see this happening.
I told you, his hips looked wrong to me. And maybe something happened in the warm-up room, because I can't imagine that he would be dropping out for no reason like that. He still had the squat on the board.
165 for Brecht Lenders of Belgium. That is a nice and easy opener. 3 white lights. But Lapi completely scratching his attempts. I mean, even with a 70-80% day, he was still at least in the fight. not for the title, but at least maybe for the podium. Something must have gone terribly wrong for the Finn, and I sincerely hope he's okay. 165 on the bar for Andres Castellón del Campo.
Pretty explosive Snake. 3 white lights, a good lift. He's on the board with the opener, unlike in the squad event. We're trying to look for info regarding why Lappi from Finland dropped out, but we can't seem to figure out why yet.
$180 on the bar for Jaden Osamweji of Great Britain. 10 kilos off his personal best.
Lovely opener from Jaden. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Pretty comfortable. And with Lappi dropping out, that opens up a space on the podium. Mandy's now looking like the clear favorite to take the win. But there's now 2 spaces. 4, 5 guys in reach who can take them. And there comes one of them, Pedro Joel Aragoneses Guerrero.
The Finnish coach went up to the jury just to tell why his lifter is dropping out. We'll try and get the info during the break.
Something not quite right with the loading, so the clock starts running down with Guerrero already on the bench. Oh, and that is a big thing, powerful drive.
But double yellows for glutes lifting off the bench.
I was afraid of that.
Too powerful for his own good.
Yeah, let's take a look at that side replay. With such a big drive. Whoa.
Ooh, okay, that's way up in the air.
Yeah. Like a half bench, half hip thrust there, unfortunately. He's going to have to do it a lot more nicely to get those white lights. 182.5 on the bar for Peter Mandy of Great Britain, who's now looking like the clear favorite to take the win.
But as a competitor, I'm pretty sure this is not how he would have wanted to win.
Absolutely not. You want to have the fight.
Three white lights, a good lift, he's on the board. Chef Kist opener.
Superb opener there. And speaking of winning because of dropping out, remember last year or this year at European Equipped Championships, women's 63s, all but one lifter bombed out on bench press, and she was looking sad taking that gold medal. You don't want to win it like that. 185 on the bar for Tommaso Buscaroli of Italy.
Squatted 315, missed his final squat. But still, he was looking good. Lovely soft touch, but slightly flattens up as he presses.
185 on the bar for Martin Brester of Germany. Great round of squats, went 3 for 3 with 325. Took the squat gold.
Three white lights. That was super smooth.
Yeah. Brester being one of the guys with a chance at the podium, nominated 6th, and suddenly with an extra spot opening up, it's looking so close
Yeah,
for
who's
second
gonna
and third.
sneak up on the podium?
187.5 on the bar for Brian Macbetha of Belgium. Three white lights, pretty comfortable. And we have one opening attempt remaining. Yannick Kerain of Germany, 187.5. That is a super comfortable opener. Three white lights. To be honest, I was sort of thinking of making the prediction that the gold medal is going to stay with Mo Rood of B group. But with 187 looking this comfortable, Yannick might have a chance. And as things stand, we still have Dennis Morud of Norway in the lead with 202.5. Rilo from the B group in second with 192.5, and Elger Schuisen of the B group in third with 192.5. So the A group lifters not yet in the podium spots, but 2 more rounds to go, and they're gonna start getting there. 170 for Andres Castellón del Campo.
Same exact sink. Still some good speed out of the chest.
3 white lights. $175 for Brecht Lenders of Belgium. Great progress in squats. Despite missing his third, walks away with a 15 kilo personal best. Now looking to set up for a third round bench PB. That one was significantly harder.
And one yellow from the left hand side.
See the replay. Oh, and that was scrappy on the way down. I think that was the issue.
I have insider's information, Mr. Razi. Lappy's suffering from the flu. That's why he's bombing out and he didn't feel the best during the squat event.
That is unfortunate. Wish him all the best. Hope he recovers. 180 for Pedro Joel Aragoneses Guerrero. The first 180, his glutes went outrageously high off the bench. He has to make a significant change to his technique now. Okay, this looks better. And it's 3 white lights this time. The 180 is still looking pretty easy.
The thing is, with more weight, I'm afraid that he would go back to his own ways, you know?
Let's hope not, but at least he's on the board. Jaden Osemweji of Great Britain, 187.5. Very reasonable jump.
Didn't quite like his first handoff, taking a few seconds to re-explain how we would love it to be.
It is a bit more work, but it's still 3 white lights. And there's still a couple kilos left there.
He has a long range of motion. Would you load 2.5 or 5?
Considering he's in a very, very close podium fight, I think the 2.5 would be a better option.
And you know what? What you just said is an argument for both sides and both decisions. He's gonna need 5, but maybe 2.5 is a good choice.
It's hard to be a coach.
It is hard.
192.5 for Peter Mandy of Great Britain, pulling away from the pack. Three white lights, a good lift for Mandy. One 92.5 on the bar for Brian Macbetha of Belgium. This is to start moving into the bench press podium now. He'll be third on body weight. And that is 3 white lights. Great second attempt to move into provisional bronze. Same weight, 192.5 for Tommaso Buscaroli of Italy.
Three white lights, a good lift. How much more is left in the tank for the Italian?
Third attempt selections are really gonna come in clutch here with how close these athletes are. Have to play it safe, but on the other hand, you have to get as much as you can out of your muscles. Martin Brester of Germany, 192.5. Same weight, but only moves up to 7th because of body weight.
The more the attempts go by, the more I think we're gonna see a gold medal from the B group. Yeah, I mean, a medal from the B group, we tend to see that a lot now in the juniors. But a gold medal.
We've seen a silver in the squats. Can we see a gold in the bench? It's all gonna depend on this man here, Yannick Kerain of Germany, 195 for his second attempt. He needs this to move well so he can take an equal jump to try and go for bench gold. And it looks comfortable enough.
Does it look comfortable enough to go for it? 202.5.
I think it could be, but will they take the risk? Or will they try and grab kilos for the podium fight?
It depends on. Maybe they think the gold medal in the bench press is closer than the podium fight, then I would rather take the risk for that.
We'll see what the German coaches decide. And we're starting round 3, 172.5 for Andres Castellón del Campo. Gets it up, 3 white lights, a good lift and 3 for 3 on bench.
Yep, solid 3 for 3 as the ground starts to shake from the warm-up of the A93s in the deadlift events.
It's going to be a thunderous session.
Oh yeah.
It's 180 on the bar for Brecht Lenders of Belgium. Very exact selection of a third attempt, 3 white lights. Another personal best.
Hopefully we see 7 more of those.
The bar is loaded. 190 kilos.
190 on the bar for Pedro Joel Aragoneses Guerrero. 10 kilo personal best. Has to keep his glutes on the bench.
Yeah, and in that case, there's only so many things the coach can do. It's up to the lifter now to decide his fate. Do not be too aggressive with the leg drive. The glutes came up.
Yeah, I think he knew that. Save the energy. And that is unfortunately a 1 for 3 in the bench after a 1 for 3 in the squats.
Do you think that was the planned second, or did they try to cover some ground?
Honestly, I don't know. The technique with such an aggressive sink and such an aggressive leg drive is unreliable to say the least, so hard to tell. 192.5 on the bar for Jaden Osemweji of Great Britain.
That's a great shot at the podium now, especially if he manages this third. Looks like he's going to be successful. How about the lights? They're all white. It's a good lift. 3 for 3 for him in the bench press event.
192.5 for a second time for Martin Brester of Germany, trying to match his personal best, stay at least somewhat close to the podium fight, lagging it behind ever so slightly. Just runs out of gas once again, about halfway up.
The bar is loaded for Italy.
197.5 on the bar for Tommaso Buscaroli of Italy. Provisional bench press silver. Not a guaranteed podium. Gives it a good go, but too heavy on the day.
Unfortunately, 3 lifters left. For Great Britain is next. 200 kilos on the bar. Bar is loaded.
200 on the bar for Peter Mandy of Great Britain. This is to match his personal best and give him even more of an advantage in the overall fight for the title. Looking comfortable.
Great fight. He matches his personal best. He's coming up with some interesting celebrations.
Yeah, the loss of his title rival didn't really seem to get him down. He's very much enjoying himself at this competition. Now to decide the podium. 200 on the bar for Brian Macbetha of Belgium for provisional bench press silver and a guaranteed medal. This is a bigger jump than from first to second, but he's not really that close to the overall title fight, so might as well try and go for bench medal. It's a great effort. Can he lock it out? He does. And 3 white lights. He just secured himself a bench medal. Will it be silver or will it be bronze?
He just looked like a gentle giant. Even that celebration looked nice.
One final attempt from off the podium to gold medal. Yannick Kerain of Germany, 202.5 to take the bench gold on
He decides if we
bodyweight.
get a gold from the B group. I would love it for him, but it'd make for a great story too.
And it looks good. It's 3 white lights. That is bench press gold for Germany. For Yannick Kerain, 202.5 on bodyweight. The very last attempt. Mo Ruud of Norway was holding on until the last minute. These are the bench press standings. Kerain takes gold with 202.5 from the B group. Dennis Mo Ruud of Norway in silver at 202.5, and Brian Macbetha for Belgium with a great third attempt at 200 grabs the bronze. Current standings. The totals from the B group still stand obviously, but the subtotals are interesting. Peter Mende with 515 looking like a title favorite, but the subtotals for the 5 lifters following him, Kerain, Brester, Buscaroli, Osemweji, It's looking close. We'll see what happens in deadlift, and we'll see you in about 9 minutes to decide the 93s and then the 105s. See you then.
Just like that, the wait is over. It is time for some deadlifts. Still live from Duskeninkai, Lithuania for the 2025 European Sub-Junior and Junior Classic Powerlifting Championships. Still Alexandre Dodin, still Erasm Ivan. Deadlift time, which means emotion time, which means performance time, which means placing time. Starting off with the 93s. Quick look at the deadlift standings. Opening at 275 is Thomas Votava, and will go as far up as 332.5 for Emmanuel Olatunji. They're going to pull for positions, we know that. We might see a record attempt and a strategical play pulling for a chip, we know that. It's going to come down to the final deadlift, we know that. Exciting battle in the 93s.
Yeah, I think the 332 is an increase for Olatunji from 330, if I remember correctly, and he's now projected first.
Smart play. 3 white lights, a good lift. Let's get it over with quickly, these opening attempts. Just roll easy first deadlifts, placings, and then we play the game how it's supposed to be played.
Then we play the game, and even the jumps to second attempts will be crucial here, because they can decide placings. We tend to see missed deadlifts when the battles are close, so every lift is important here. Nice and easy opener. Convince your coaches to take a big jump.
Jacob Nissel, Sweden, 280. Is that a solid day? 305, personal best, 177.5, personal best once again. Not expecting any different in the deadlift event.
And a clean opening attempt for Nilsson.
Yep. He's gonna jump 20, of course.
Only appropriate for a session of such quality.
And talking about quality lifting, Isaac Asperet has had a solid day too. 282.5 his opener after squatting 287.5 and benching 200. Great use of the cue knees out at the bottom. Next up, one of the 3 title favorites, Malik, Bernoussi, and Friolet. It's looking like a 3-way battle between Malik, Joey, and Emmanuel.
For the time being, it's looking like a 3-way battle, but any mistakes from those 3 could bring other competitors into the fight.
285, and that's easy work. Just want to solidify a total, and then you look at what the opposition is doing and you play the game. Same opening attempt for Serrano Agustin, Netherlands. That's 285. His PB is 300 in the deadlift event. Is he flying too close to the sun, just like in the squat? Or has he regained a bit of momentum after bench press?
Let's hope he has. Oh, deadlift's not looking much better than squat and bench, and that is no lift. A red and the blue. I saw the blue going up, supporting on the thighs.
Yeah.
The red for insufficient lockout. I can also understand why, unfortunately.
I mean, it's pretty clear to see from the sides.
Man, not having the best day.
But if you know he's not having the best day, why don't you lower the opener?
I don't know.
We move on to Jakub Belak, Slovakia. Is 2 for 6 so far. 3 for 6 so far. Opening at 300 kilos. He has a strong pull on him. That should be enough to convince all three refs. Yes, 3 white lights.
3 white lights, and looking for, after a troubled squat and bench, at least a PB on deadlift would be a nice thing to take away.
Now, Joey Walla's opener, 302.5. He's had troubles in the past with his knees unlocking. Let's see how he looks. Yeah, that's super solid from Joey.
3 white lights, nice and easy. 20, 30 kilos on that.
Yeah, I guess there's plenty more where that came from. I don't know if it's 30, 35, 40, but there's way more.
Oh, yeah, he is gonna need it.
It's gonna come down to the final pull. Next up, Eric Nemec, Czechia, 305. Squatted 280, bench 155.
Looking comfortable. 3
Yeah,
white
3
lights.
white lights, that's a good lift.
Next up, Jose Perez Nova from Spain.
He was nominated 12th. He's now looking at a probable top 10 finish in the class. Now, Jose Perez Nova, Spain, 305. We have some strong pullers in this class.
Another easy first attempt. Let's wait for the lights, and it's 3 white ones.
Yeah, I couldn't see anything wrong. Just an issue with the remote, slight delay. 3 more openers to go. 2 of them are 310. First one out, Luca Umberto Angrisano, Italy. Solid day, 297.5, 167.5. Three white lights, a good lift. The little side eye at lockout, I don't know what it was looking at, but
The bar is loaded.
yeah, that's the side. That's the exact side. Maybe someone in the crowd telling him, you should jump 20 kilos.
I think he should.
I really think he should. Now 310 for Myron Dembski. He is only 2 for 6 so far in the competition. And that's not an easy opener. But
What?
3 white lights, at least he has a total.
Bit of work on the lockout. We'll see how much further he can push. Can he at least go 4 or 9?
Usually the Polish coaching staff does not open that heavy.
Not sure what's happening here. But also, the Dutch coaching staff usually doesn't open too heavy.
True.
The bar is loaded.
Next up, final opener, Emmanuel Olatunji, Great Britain, 332.5. Very much a title contender in the 3-way battle in between him, Joey and Malik.
If needed, this is a jump away from the European record.
Yeah, 360.5. Established by Italian Messiah when he was still in 93, but now he's moved up to the 105. Emmanuel is next man up for that record.
From the looks of it, the record should be trembling today.
The standings in the class after that first round at deadlift, Awala third, Bernousi Triolet second, first Olatunji. Quick look at the deadlift standings. still holding on from the B group in third, Gabriel Visek. Second, Olatunji. First, Spira. Quick rush of the bar before we move straight into the second round. Starting off with the retake from Serrano Agustin, the Netherlands, 285. Last time around, 1 red, 1 blue. Lack of lockout, not so clear to see, but pretty clear supporting on the thighs.
Has to do it better to secure a total.
Very important for team points too.
I don't think he's gonna get it this time, and that is trouble for Team Netherlands.
The thing is, I think he tried to overcompensate, not to go for some supporting on the thighs. He extended the knees early, and he needed to like sumo RDL at 285, which is just too difficult.
Yeah, not many people who can do that.
Next athlete, Thomas Votava, Czechia, 287.5, jump of 12.5.
Bit of work for the lockout. 3 white lights. Still looking comfortable for a couple kilos.
Yeah, I think he's due for a personal best in a deadlift. I'd be comfortable adding 5 or 7.5. Next up to try and match his personal best is Zach Asperud, Norway, 292.5, a jump of 10. That's 780 in provisional 4th position in the class.
Barely breaks the floor.
That is surprising, I must say.
Yeah, the 282.5. I mean, wasn't absolutely flying, but didn't seem that difficult.
Yeah, I mean, sumo can be deceiving because floor is the sticking point. So, with 10 more kilos, if it doesn't move from the ground, you're not going to go anywhere. Next up, Jacob Nilsson, Sweden, 302.5. We were expecting 20 just to make a slide. He's adding 22.5.
His coach, Kalle Johansson, said, I've been on this stream, I know better.
Yep, please blush the bar. Roll it back to the back of the platform. Not much chalk over there. Torque and maybe spreading the ground. 2 important things in a sumo.
That is a strong looking second attempt.
However, right side ref not convinced with the shoulder lockout.
Let's take a look at the replay from their perspective.
I think he should pass.
I think he should be okay.
Now, another big jump. 25 from Malik Bernoussi Triolet. That's 310.
Still looking comfortable.
Yeah, it's a good pull, comfortable pull. He retakes the lead, and with that pull, he'll be over Olatunji in the walla at the end of the second round. They'll be forced to pull a third attempt. Nice strategical play from Team France there.
I don't quite understand the second attempt selection for Olatunji from Team GB here. If they went just 5 kilos, 7.5 kilos more, they would have overtaken him again. Now
No.
they've kind of lost the advantage that they've gotten by changing their opener.
Not to throw shades, but we saw those kind of mistakes in Costa Rica with Natalia Messiah and Goka from the Team GB. We'll see what happens. Now, Jakub Belak, Slovakia, 15 kilo jump. Three white lights. He's regained a bit of momentum out of the bench. He's looking good in the deadlift.
He's waking up finally.
320 kilos. Load up.
Deadlifts are where he shines.
I mean, in the sub-juniors, he used to shine everywhere, I must say. 320 for Jose Perez Nova, Spain. 15 kilo jump. Yeah, that's super smooth once again. 3 white lights, a good lift. I want to bring Diego back on the mic. I want to talk about those deadlifts. We didn't do that enough during the previous flight.
I don't think you can talking about enough Spanish deadlifts.
What's the secret? Next up, Joey Iwala, Great Britain, jumping 22.5. That's 325. Provisional third in the deadlift. Provisional second in the class. We haven't lied, as he's going to come down to the final pull.
It's gonna come down to the final pull.
Can he keep it just as clean as his opener? My man, he's looking super strong.
3 white lights, and I was focusing on those knees, as you said. No trouble.
Super extended, no supporting, no unlocking. He learned his lesson.
Optimize a little bit on the platform. The bar is loaded.
Now walking up to the platform is Eric Nemec, Czechia, 325, personal best of 3.5.
It's hard work to lock it out, but it's 3 white lights, a good lift.
3 lifters left in round 2. Dino Demsky is next. Bar is loaded.
Another attempt at 325. I must say I was not expecting that big of a jump from Myron Demsky.
Me neither. 15 kilos from that opener seems quite a lot. It's heavy. It's heavy to the knees and no further. What is going on?
I think it's on following the game plan without adapting.
If you're not feeling it on the day, you have to adapt.
And the thing is, no, you can't lower the attempt. That's your second attempt. It's going to be the minimum third. You have to take it.
At best, he'll be going 449. If he pulls some insane inspiration from somewhere to make that last deadlift, otherwise it's 349.
He's going to be on Agata Chico's Instagram account for 10 minutes, just scrolling past her deadlifts. Luca Umberto Angrisano, Italy, 330, a 20 kilo jump. A real menace to the podium. Yep.
330 still looking comfortable.
If I am either Malik or Joey, For Emmanuel, I would not want to miss while trying to overreach because this guy is in the hunt, ready to pull himself onto the podium.
If there is a miss from any of the three in the final round, it can be a podium for Italy.
One final pull in the second round. One for provisional deadlift gold and provisional second position in the class. Emmanuel Olatunji, Great Britain. It looks like a second should.
Yeah,
3 white lights. We just do not understand why that was the number, but it looks like a second.
Going into round 3. This is where it happens. Serrano Agostino is coming out for
We're gonna have a quick look at the standings before the third round. Provisional deadlift podium in third, Anglisano from Italy. Holding on from the B group, Spira with 335 is in second. And with the pool we just witnessed, 352.5, Olatunji tops the deadlift. Quick look at the standings. It's tight at the top of the class. Awala third, Olatunji second, and slightly above him by 2.5, Malik first. The thing is, Malik is heavier than Awala, but Emmanuel is the heaviest of the bunch, but he has the biggest pull. Serrano Agustin on the verge of bombing out. He switched from conventional, from a sumo to conventional, and 3 white lights, 1 final pull to save himself.
well, that was something.
And I think we're gonna see a lot more conventional in his program now.
And just shake his head at the top. Why couldn't I have done that
Yeah.
from the start of deadlifts?
Look at me.
Because that did look pretty reasonable.
I mean, if I'm him, I'm switching to conventional. Isak Asperud, Norway, retaking 292.5. Yeah, it's just not there. He also tried to switch, but
Maybe inspired by the Dutchman before him.
I would be inspired. But last time around, his sumo did not even leave the ground, so why not attempt something crazy?
Czechia, 209.
Now Tomas Votava, Czechia, 295. This is to try and reach the top 10 in the class. Lots of Czechs in the crowd too. No lift, slightly too heavy.
Yeah, the second one was a bit of work on the lockout, but I wasn't expecting him to fail so quickly.
So that's provisional 11th position in the class, forecasted in 12th if Demsky manages 325, which I must say is pretty unlikely.
I'd be feeling pretty safe in that 11th.
Just shy of the top 10 though.
The bar is
Next up, Jacob Nilsson, Sweden, 315. Once again, this one's to shoot for a personal best, but 302.5 did not look 315 worthy. But I mean, when you're brought to the platform by one of the best deadlifters in the world, what can we say? He gets the final say, of course. For provisional 4th position in the class and top 8 in the deadlift, Jacob Nilsson, 315.
It's going, but gets to the top of the socks and no further. Still a great effort.
Great sportsmanship, taking a few seconds to thank the referees. It doesn't slow down the competition because the bar needs to be brushed anyways.
Yeah. Always nice to thank the referees. They are here as volunteers, giving their time, their effort for these competitions to be able to run.
Next up, Malik Bernoussi Triolet has dropped down his attempt to 325. That would give him 840 in total. Of course, 332.5 was a placeholder. They're playing the game, trying to bait the opposition. He has to pull first though, which is uncomfortable. He needs to manage the attempt.
He locks it out.
3 white lights. He extends the lead in the class, but now he has to wait and watch what Emmanuel and Joey are going to do with their final deadlifts. The thing is, out of the two, Joey is going to pull before Emmanuel. So do you just try and match Malik and beat him on body weight? Or do you try and extend because you feel under pressure from Emmanuel? Tough decisions to be made by Joey Owala and his coach.
If I were Wala, I'd probably match, just because Olatunji had the slightest hint of struggle in the lockout for the second deadlift.
Interesting take. Now
I just bet on that.
Okay. Now Jakub Belak, Slovakia, 325, jump of 10. Ever so close to his personal best of 327.5. Just trying to end his day on a high note.
And a super snappy finish to the competition for Belak.
Is that a farewell to powerlifting in general? That seems like a weird gesture. Like, I'm done. Hopefully it's just done for the day.
Well, I certainly hope so.
I mean, when you put down your belt like that and you make that signal, I'm interested to try and ask. Next up, Myron Demski, Poland, 325. A retake from the second round.
This is gonna be a monstrous effort if he does it.
Can he make some magic happen?
Once again to the knees and no further. And it's 3 for 9 for the pole.
At least he has a total. That's 14th position in the class. Now some attempts are being changed. Who's gonna shoot for what? Next lifter, Erik Nemec from Czechia, 332.5. Joey Owala has dropped down his final attempt. He's going to be looking to match Malik in about 2 attempts or so, depending on who changes their attempt.
And it was a double change. It was down to 332.5 and then back up to 347.5. Not sure why.
Couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. His last attempt was a personal best. He's looking to extend that by 7.5. Provisional bronze medal in the deadlift event.
Big effort, but too much for today.
The bar is loaded for Spain.
Now the bar is loaded for Jose Perez Nova, Spain. Another jump of 20 kilos to pull himself into provisional deadlift silver and provisional 4th in the class. Let's see it, let's see it, let's see it.
And tips forward. Great
That's not
effort.
happening today, unfortunately.
We have a lot of red on the board at the moment. Let's see if that is about to change.
Next up, Joey Owala, 347.5. This could be the pull for the title. He won't get the final say though because Emmanuel Olutunji is pulling after him, but to pull himself into provisional deadlift silver and provisional gold in the class. A huge personal best of 12.5 is needed for his final pull as a junior lifter.
Can he get revenge from Costa Rica?
Joey Owala!
Up
It's
to the
not
knees, but no
happening.
further.
At least he played to win. I can only tip my hat to that. He's going to be under pressure from Angrisano from Italy, but I know Owala does not care about a third position. He played to win. So next up is going to be Luca Umberto Angrisano, Italy, 352.5. To go from third to first in the deadlift event, but more importantly to pull himself onto the podium above Owala.
This is for the surprise podium we were mentioning. If any of the top three misses,
Yep. From the start, we told you he had a huge pull on him. He could be a real threat for the podium if anyone missed above him.
Let's see it. Can he lock it out?
I think he's done it. And it's going to look like another fourth position for Owala.
And his three white lights. He gets on the podium. And Owala's down in fourth.
But like I said, I don't think Owala is going to regret anything.
No.
Owala played to win. If he's not winning, he's losing.
Absolutely. If you get a chance, you go for it.
It's also a world record attempt. The weight on the bar,
And the bar is being loaded with 370.5.
kilos. The lifter is no one less than Emmanuel Olutunji.
So 370.5 for Emmanuel Olutunji. European junior record. Wow. 370.5 to pull himself into first position.
This is for a record and the title.
Absolute mammoth amount of weight on the bar. One final pull for the win. The crowd's on their feet. 317.5. A record and the title.
Come on. It's above the knees, but it goes no further once again. Title's going to France.
We're gonna hear La Marseillaise. I must say I'm pretty happy about that, but the fact that this was a reasonable attempt for Emmanuel Olutunji is absolutely insane. And one thing to note too is that he's still gonna be a junior next year.
Oh, he's going to be a scary junior next year, that's for sure.
So the deadlift standings, third holding on from the B group, Barak Shpira from Israel with 335. Deadlift silver with 352.5, Emmanuel Olutunji. And collecting deadlift gold is the Italian Angrisano with 352.5, but lighter on body weight. Final placings in the class surpassing Owala on body weight is Luca Umberto Angrisano from Italy with 817.5. Second position, Emmanuel Olutunji with 822.5. And he wins the class with 840. European champion Malik Bernoussi Triolet from France.
What a session it has been, and what an effort from the Italian to take the deadlift gold from a puller like Olutunji. Incredible stuff. And we are into the 105s. Openers ranging from 285 to 330. We're starting off with Martin Brester of Germany. 285 on the bar. Looking comfortable, projected sixth, but not that far behind. And second to fifth will be separated by 5 kilos only after the first round of pulls if everyone's successful.
So even though we don't have Lappy anymore, we have an interesting class of 105 on our hands.
Arguably, him, unfortunately, scratching his deadlifts and benches, falling sick, has made it more interesting. Yannick Kerlein of Germany, 295. Clean first attempt, 3 white lights. We have 5 people separating by 5 kilos, and 5 does not go into 2.
Well said.
Bars loaded.
300 on the bar for Brecht Lenders of Belgium.
Wow, that was lightning fast.
That was fast, 3 white lights. Secured personal bests on squat and bench, and looking to do the same on deadlifts with that kind of opener.
Magventa from Belgium is next, 300 kilos, bars loaded.
$300 for Brian Macbeth of Belgium. Bit of a wobbly lockout, but 3 white lights, a good lift.
Next lifter, Tommaso Buscaroli from Italy, bars loaded. 300 kilos.
Now we've seen one Italian underdog just take the podium. Will we see a second one? Tommaso Buscaroli, 300 on the bar for 807.5.
I mean, he makes it believable.
Very much so. 3 white lights.
3 white lights.
Things are going to be super close at the top.
Next, Jaden, also winning from Great Britain, 310 kilos. Bars
310 on the bar for Jaden Osemweji. He'll be trying to make it a Great Britain 1-2 with Peter Mandy. Would definitely be great for Team GB in the point standings.
One snappy first pull for Jaden.
This is 15 kilos off his personal best. There is a red light from the center referee.
What was unlocked? Shoulders, hips, knees?
Bars loaded.
Everything seems correct.
No, looks all right. I think he'll be holding on to that lift, and I wanted to ask you, 15 kilo jump to a second or more?
Depends on what the others are doing. I'm gonna make quick math, and I'll say 17 and a half.
Right, we'll see. 310 for Andres Castellón del Campo. Spanish deadlifts.
White lights. Good lift, first man.
Nothing further to
I
add.
mean,
Next lifter, Pedro.
but today we've had some strong Italians deadlifts too, and Team GB almost pulling off a miracle with 370.5.
Deadlifts very much not an exclusive thing to Team Spain. Another 310 on the bar for Pedro Joel Aragoneses Guerrero.
He's had trouble with both openers so far. Can it be a different outcome with this deadlift opener?
I believe this was raised by 2.5 kilos.
see anything wrong with that pull. 3 white lights, a good lift.
That is 3 for 7, but if he makes it 5 for 7, might be walking home with a medal.
330 kilos for his first deadlift.
And the final deadlift opener of the 105s, Peter Mandy of Great Britain, 330 kilos to pull ahead in the title fight for the 105s.
That is one convincing opener, my friend.
Very much would agree. European and world junior records at 370
Mr. Regan Stogakis.
from Costa Rica. Will we see it happen?
I don't know about from Costa Rica. From Denmark.
The records are from Costa Rica.
I agree.
Brought them home to Denmark.
Double citizenship for Regan Stogakis.
I mean, he worked for that.
He did. Fainted after each and every deadlift. Still walked away with the win. Bunch of new records.
Good reason to faint. 310 on the bar for Yannick Kerain of Germany. Jump from 5th to 2nd in total for the time being. Nice and controlled, very consistent.
Next out on the platform, Martin Rester from Germany. 310 kilos for his second deadlift. The bar is loaded.
Same weight, 310 on the bar for his teammate Martin Brester. Bit more work for that lockout. It's a 2-to-1 good lift with a red light from the right side referee.
Next lifter, Tommaso Buscaroli from Italy. 315 kilos.
Each and every lift now is a pretty significant change in placings.
Yep, but I don't see a real tendency in terms of jump. We're seeing 15s, 17s, 20, 25s.
315 on the bar for Tommaso Buscaroli of Italy. This is the jump up into total second. Still looking pretty comfortable.
Good lift. Next lifter, Brian Magretta from Belgium. 322.5 kilos. The bar is loaded. Come on, Brian.
$322.5 for Brian Macbeth of Belgium.
A sneaky second pull, but I think that was a proper pull.
3 white lights.
Next lifter is
Good lift for your bench press medalist.
the bar is loaded.
322.5 for Pedro Joel Aragoneses Guerrero. This will jump him into 4th on body weight.
Three white lights, a good lift. I wouldn't say that's easy work, but that's a proper second.
Yeah, bit of work on the lockout. But there's definitely some kilos left there. $325 now. Recht Lenders of Belgium. The 300 was super fast. Three white lights. 25 kilos slows him down an appropriate amount.
Yeah, but I mean, jumping 25 and make it move like that is diabolical. How much more can he pull now?
I think 10-15 would be very reasonable here. See, maybe he goes for an 800 kilo total. That will be a pretty nice improvement.
20 kilo jumping. We will have a new personal best.
330 for Jaden Osamweji of Great Britain. 20 kilos? Once again, they're one-upping you by 2.5.
I'll take that. These guys are absolutely awesome. They're performing out of their minds. And it's an honor to witness that from the commentary booth.
He's gonna jump to 832.5. Bit of a way ahead of the chasing pack for the silver medal. And the 20 kilos makes a bit of a difference, but it still seems reasonable. There is a red light from the right side referee, which I think there was even before. Let's take a look at their replay again.
Don't see anything wrong with the pool.
Yeah, don't know why.
I don't think he's reasonably close to try and take a shot at Mendy. So he should probably just look to extend his position.
I think that would be the reasonable thing to do here. Take a 1-2 for Team GB. They need the points. 337.5 on the bar for Andres Castellón del Campo.
What a jump.
Now with a personal best of 350, it's not unreasonable.
Do you think he's good for 350 on the day?
3 white lights.
12.5 is not that far off.
I mean, 350 would probably secure him a deadlift silver at the very least. Well, it should be there. We'll see what they put. It probably depends on how many of the guys in round 3 make their attempts. Now, to really solidify his title claim, 355 for Peter Mendy of Great Britain.
Yeah, that seals the deal.
Yeah, he'll be jumping to 870. Osamweji will not be able to catch him with this, and he also sets himself up to have a go at Regin's world record.
Okay, so 370.5 for his final attempt, yes or no?
I don't see any reason why not.
Yeah, the title is well secured. No one's gonna jump 30 more kilos to try and surpass him. Nowhere else to go, really.
Yeah, the total record.
Except maybe a GB record of some sort.
Maybe, but you're on the European platform, go for the European and the world record.
I would say so.
So as things stand, so far so good in rounds 1 and 2, no missed attempts. Shouldn't have said that, but we have Peter Mendy in a very clear lead with Osumweji in second and Buscaroli currently in third, matched on bodyweight with Herain and Aragoneses. Martin Brester 315, jump from 6th to 3rd. And he locked it out. Second one was heavy. I don't think this is enough. It's 3 red lights. Shouldn't have said that.
You never learn your lessons.
Oh, but the second one was very heavy. I think this one was not caused by me here. Great effort though. Very, very close to locking that out. Team Germany will be the first to try and stake their claim for a podium in the 105s. Yannick Kerain of Germany, 322.5, 10 kilo PB. The 310 looked good.
Yeah, and he's had a strong day. I would not bet against this guy.
Three white lights, a good lift, goes to 8:35. Into second for the time being.
And 15 sessions of physiotherapy for the coach just because of that jump. I mean, catching a big boy like that, that's super hyped up by his final pull. Dangerous.
And these are 105s. We're getting towards the ways that might be dangerous for a coach of a smaller stature. 325 now. Tommaso Buscaroli of Italy. This is for a provisional bronze. Can we have a second Italian on the podium today? It's a big effort, but I don't think that was quite locked out.
Nah, it was so close. He lost the grip on his right hand.
That is unfortunate. Podium remains Mendy, Kerain, Osumweji. Are there any more challengers?
Challengers for deadlift gold for sure. Challengers for podium, not so sure.
We'll wait and see. I think there's gonna be a challenge from Spain. Not from anyone else from the looks of it.
Yeah.
327.5 on the bar for Brian Macbetha of Belgium. Can he lock it out? Work for it. And his 3 white lights, a good lift.
Yeah, props to him. That was one difficult final pull, and he pulled it off.
And he did really well not to start hitching the bar up his thighs there for the lockout.
No supporting whatsoever.
5 attempts between us and the podium of the 105s, possibly a world record.
Possibly.
These are the standings right now on the side of the screen. Mendy in the lead, he will not be caught. Yannick Kerain of Germany in second, and now Jaden Osumweji of Great Britain coming to challenge him.
Yeah, for a double stack for GB.
This is for a GB 1-2. 335. Can he do it? Oh, it's hard towards the lockout, but I think he does it.
Yeah, that's a GB 1-2 for sure. 2-1, a good lift. The same red from the right hand side. I'm not sure what's not locked out. Yep, jury gives the thumbs up to the coach.
And that will be a GB 1-2 unless something changes.
It'd be a big ass for anyone. But Maybe Spain. We'll see.
337.5 for Brecht Lenders of Belgium. This is for provisional deadlift bronze. Oh, it's a grind. And out of his hands onto the floor. That is unfortunate.
He's had such a great day. I hope this is not the only thing he keeps in mind from the competition.
You know what? We have another B group medal.
Interestingly enough.
But let's put it aside. 3 more lifts to decide the podium. 337.5 for Pedro Joel Aragoneses Guerrero.
Team Spain has decided to let the double stack from GB alone. They're pulling for Germany.
They're going for Germany. They would need 2.5 more to go for GB.
337.5 to match Jaden, but he's heavier on body weight, so only to surpass Karen from Germany.
Can he do it?
If this one looks easy, he's gonna regret not loading 340. But still, a podium finish at hand for Aragones Guerrero.
Vamos. Lock it out.
No!
Out of his hands.
That
And
was so
there is
close.
no podium for Team Spain. It's gonna be GB, and Germany, unless there is a pretty drastic attempt change, which is coming in, and Team Spain's going for silver.
No way.
Team Spain is going for silver. 362.5 on the bar.
They're going
for
for silver?
Andres Castellón del Campo. I mean, it's a big ask. 360 or 362, is that too much? Is that much of a difference?
I'm gonna say that again. They are going for silver.
They're going from 7th to 2nd in total.
From 337.5 to 362.5. Barra para España.
Diego, you're cooking up a treat here.
Bro, Spanish deadlift once again.
Andres Castellón del Campo, 362.5 for an absolutely insane attempt at a 2nd position. If he does this, it'll be incredible.
How in the world did we end up here with 362.5 for Andres Castellón del Campo?
Vamos! And it's stuck at the knees for quite a while there, but just too much.
It broke the ground. It went as far up as the knees.
And I was talking about the 2.5 extra kilos, but
Wow.
that was incredible effort from Team Spain, giving us an absolute show. But we have one deadlift remaining for the man who holds the European title and holds the deadlift gold. Peter Mandy of Great Britain going for 370.5 for a new world junior record.
Mr. Regan Stagakis, you are not safe.
You are not safe indeed. The record will not have to travel as far as it had to from Costa Rica to Denmark. But it's going to be taken away if he can make this final pull. 370.5, a new world record for your European champion Peter Mandy of Great Britain. Come on!
What emote is going to pull off?
Is 3 white lights. A backflip finally in this championship.
Bro, don't forget your belt. What a finish. 370.5. Some good air time on that backflip. What a way to finish your day. You are the European champion.
He's the European champion. He's the world junior deadlift record holder. Your deadlift gold medalist Peter Mandy of GB. Emil Svensson from Sweden from the B group with 340, holds on to deadlift silver, and Andres Castellón del Campo grabs the deadlift bronze for Spain. And in the total rankings, in third place for Germany, Yannick Keren with 8:35 in total, and then a GB 1-2 in second. Jaden Osenweji at 8:37.5, under pressure from Del Campo, but holds on to silver. And your European champion with a new World Junior Deadlift record and a result of 8:85.5, Peter Mandy of GB. What a day!
Yeah, what a day.
Session! We'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. for the women's 69 and 76 kilo B groups.
Another 3-flight day tomorrow.
Another 3-fight day, and another day that I'm feeling is going to be filled with some records.
Of course.
Maybe.
You're talking about the 76ers, right?
I am talking about the 76s, and honestly, I cannot wait.
Me neither.
We'll be back in about 12 and a half hours' time. We'll see you then.
See you then.
from Tatiana Melnick, the General Secretary of the IPF and the President of the IPF Pilsen, Björn Åsberg. Not only will we get medals, you're also being given a goodie bag from ESL. Thank you so much, guys. Well done. You may step down. As we go to the bench press medals. Bench press bronze goes to Brian Magabetta from Belgium. 200 kilos. And bench press silver goes to Dennis Moerud from Norway. 205. And the bench press gold goes to Yannick Henai of Germany. Thank you so much, guys. You may step down. For deadlift medals. Deadlift bronze goes to Andres Castellón from Spain. 327.5. Deadlift silver goes to Emil Svensson from Sweden. 300 kilos. And the deadlift gold medalist is, of course,